Thank you. It has been a pleasure to serve as the chair couple of the Young Ag Professionals Committee this year. We would also like to thank Vice Chair couple of the State Young Ag Professionals Committee, Dustin and Casey Converse, and the rest of the 2017-2018 State Young Ag Professionals Committee. Would the team members please stand and be recognized?
It is our honor to recognize the outstanding young professionals we have in our organization. I would also like to recognize the many companies who sponsor our Young Ag Professional Awards. Thank you for your support. We begin our awards with the discussion meet. The finals took place during this year's Young Ag Professionals Winter Leadership Experience. The contest is designed to develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills through group discussion. Contestants were judged on their ability to discuss the topics, draw other participants into the conversation, and work together to arrive at a solution. The topic in the final round was, with a growing demand for U.S. farm products abroad, how can agriculture overcome public skepticism of foreign trade to negotiate new trade agreements and open new world markets? The winner of the 2018 discussion meet is Annie Specht of Tuscarawas County Farm Bureau. Please turn your attention to the screens as we get to know Annie.
I'm Dr. Annie Specht, and I am an assistant professor of agricultural communication at The Ohio State University. As an assistant professor in the AgCom program, I teach courses ranging from graphic design to magazine layout and production to data visualization and communication theory. One of the best parts of my job is getting to work with college students. I have really been blessed to work with some incredibly talented and smart and passionate young people. I take really great pride in building relationships with the students, especially the ones that I advise, and I always love it when I'm able to share things that I'm passionate about with students who are also really interested in those areas. I grew up on a 200-acre registered Holstein dairy farm in Dover, Ohio. That's in Tuscarawas County, where I'm a Farm Bureau member. And I was involved in the day-to-day operations of the farm from a very young age. My parents sold our dairy about 6 years ago now, so we're no longer milking cattle full-time, but we still have the farm. So we still raise registered Holstein show cattle, and my involvement with that involves helping choose matings for our cattle, choosing which heifers and cows we're going to show every year, and then helping with show preparation and being part of the show crew. So the discussion meet is a competition that doesn't feel like a competition, if that makes any sense. It's really an opportunity for a group of engaged young professionals to sit at a table and to talk through some really challenging issues that agriculture is facing. So you come to the table, you have researched a topic, and you present your ideas on how we can address that particular topic. So winning the discussion meet was a really wonderful feeling and a bit of a surprise, because I felt like there were some really strong competitors in that final round. Being able to represent Ohio Farm Bureau, which is an organization that I have admired and respected for a really long time, is just a really big honor for me. So I'm really excited to get to do that.
Annie receives a $1,000 award from Nationwide, a Polaris P3000 watt generator, and an expense-paid trip to the American Farm Bureau Annual Convention in New Orleans in January to compete in the national discussion meet. Presenting the award to Annie is Shonda Vega of Nationwide, Ryan Bowman and Ben Rapps of Polaris, and President Frank Burgett and Executive Vice President of Ohio Farm Bureau, Adam Sharp. Congratulations, Annie, and we wish you the best in your national competition next month.
morning we held the first rounds of the 2019 discussion meet to determine our next state winner. We would like to thank our judges for taking time out of their busy schedules to be a part of this process. Based on the judges' scoring, the following participants will compete in the discussion meet final round at the 2019 Young Ag Professionals Winter Leadership Experience on February 1st. The winner will compete at the National Discussion Meet in 2020 in Austin, Texas, at the American Farm Bureau Annual Convention. Congratulations to Andrew Mann of Pickaway County, Victoria Pop of Claremont County, Greg Corcoran of Ross County, and Michaela Wright of Darke County. The judging this year for Outstanding Young Farmer and Excellence in Agriculture competitions took place over the summer. The Outstanding Young Farmer contest is designed to help young ag professionals strengthen their business skills, develop marketing opportunities, and receive recognition for their accomplishments. Contestants are judged on the growth of their farm business and involvement in Farm Bureau and their community. We would like to recognize Richard Purdon of Adams County as the Outstanding Young Farmer finalist. Richard will be receiving a DeWalt cordless drill as a gift, courtesy of Granger. The 2018 Outstanding Young Farmers are Nick and Brandy Anderson of Champaign County. Please direct your attention to the screens as we introduce you to Nick and Brandy.
My name is Brandy Anderson. I grew up on a dairy farm in Champaign County. I went off to college, and then my husband and I started raising calves in 2012.
I am Nick Anderson, and my wife and I are owners of Anderson Custom Enterprises. We raise and feed out Holstein cattle, and a co-owner in WTW Enterprises, which is custom winter hauling and custom forage chopping.
It's my sister-in-law and I that own WTF Meats. I raise the turkey and beef, and she raises the pork and chicken. We sell our products at farm markets in Columbus, Hilliard, Dublin, and Westgate. There's a huge dynamic of who we deliver to. We teach a lot of people about where their meat is grown and how it's treated, and just educate them on what they're fed, what they're not fed. In today's society, in order to be in the farming industry as first generations, you have to diversify yourself. You can't put all your eggs in one basket, and that's what we've done with raising calves, to raising heifers, to going to the resale side, to owning the manure pumping and the chopping. I'm most proud that we own it together with my husband and I and the kids enjoy what we do. They enjoy coming to the barn, so it's a family operation.
You know, I love being able to say that we're a part of creating all the food that people in this country eat. You know, at the end of the day, there's a good satisfaction that what you did today made a difference somewhere. And I sleep better at night knowing that I've made a difference somewhere. We just want to say thanks. In general, you know, everybody that's helped us along the way. I mean, there's several people's banking institutes and yeah, of course, my brother-in-law and my wife, you know, we all are in this together, and we all work hard, and I think we work good together, and, you know, just family and friends, anybody that's ever watched the kids or you know, helped us do anything.
Congratulations, Nick and Brandy. As this year's winners, they received 250 hours free use of an M-Series tractor provided by Kubota and Ohio Farm Bureau, $1,000 in Granger merchandise sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America and Granger, and an expense-paid trip to the OFBF Annual Convention in New Orleans. Presenting the awards to Nick and Brandy are Jeremy Cook, Keith Darding, Bruce Williams, and Steve Payne of Kubota. Tara Durbin with Farm Credit Mid-America, and Frank Burkett and Adam Sharp from Ohio Farm Bureau.
The Excellence in Agriculture contest recognizes successful young agricultural professionals who are actively contributing to and growing through their involvement with Farm Bureau and agriculture. This year's finalists are Jesse Winery of Coshocton County and Ashton and Kyle Walls of Licking County. They will receive a DeWalt cordless drill courtesy of Granger. The 2018 Excellence in Agriculture contest winners are Adam and Jess Campbell of Warren County. Please direct your attention to the screens to meet the Campbells.
My name is Adam Campbell. I'm a member of the Warren County Farm Bureau, and I am the co-owner of Carroll Creek Farms along with my wife, Jess.
We dreamt up the idea of Carroll Creek Farms in 2015. We kind of drew on, ironically, butcher paper, some ideas about how we might go to market.
We raise 100% grass-fed lamb, 100% grass-fed beef, all natural Berkshire hogs, and pastured poultry, both broilers and laying hens. We go to market in different ways. One, we go to a traditional farmers market, a lot which are seasonal. We have a community-supported agriculture program, also known as a CSA, which is a monthly program that we have members of. We also service local restaurants. We sell a traditional freezer pork, freezer beef type situation. And lastly, we have what we call our meat retreat, which is an on-farm meat retail center. From the early beginnings until last summer, we continued to grow it as our full-time jobs would allow. And as of last summer, we had grown it enough to where I could be both the primary caretaker of our boys and them not be in daycare, and be the primary caretaker of the farm and the business.
My first role at Farm Credit being they called it an agri-consumer loan officer. I didn't feel challenged in my role any longer after about 8 years in the same position. So I pursued a role on our agribusiness department doing only swine lending at a larger scale than the local level. It's really fulfilled me because I'm passionate about the swine industry. That's where my beginnings are. I've had work experience in it and still raise hogs today myself. So it was great to marry the passions for agriculture, my passion for livestock, along with my passion for lending and helping agricultural entrepreneurs achieve their goals. Yeah, I think the industry of agriculture is bifurcating, and there's going to be either niche or large in the future. We know where we live in an area between Cincinnati and Dayton, always closing all the time. We probably wouldn't have the opportunity to own a lot of land and be a commodity producer. But the great thing is, because my job is in commodity agriculture, I'm able to tell a complete story to consumers and not have a bias on one end or the other.
Well, we would like to thank Ohio Farm Bureau and Warren County Farm Bureau for not only providing opportunities for young farmers to showcase what they've been doing, but also to provide ample leadership opportunities for people to get involved with.
Congratulations, Adam and Jess. They receive an expense-paid trip to New Orleans to compete in the National Excellence in Agriculture contest during the American Farm Bureau Annual Convention in January. They also receive a John Deere Gator, courtesy of Farm Credit Mid-America, and a $1,000 cash prize sponsored by Nationwide and Ohio Farm Bureau. Presenting these awards to the Campbells are Shonda Vega of Nationwide, Tara Durbin from Farm Credit Mid-America, Jimmy Jones from JD Equipment, Frank Burkett, and Adam Sharp. Congratulations, Adam and Jess, and we hope you bring home the National Award from New Orleans. Let's give all our winners one more round of applause.
We conclude today's luncheon with the announcement of the Ohio Farm Bureau Federation's Distinguished Service to Agriculture Awards. The Agricultural Educator Award and the Ezra C. Onstadt Heritage Award. Our first Distinguished Service Award is presented to Dennis Hiab. A longtime Hamilton County Farm Bureau member, Dennis has served as county president and has held multiple Hamilton County Farm Bureau leadership positions within the county. Dennis initiated and shouldered leadership responsibility for the development of multiple successful annual and singular Hamilton County Farm Bureau programs and events. He tirelessly seeks opportunities to promote Ohio agriculture and expertly represents Farm Bureau well in political arenas. Please direct your attention to the screens as we hear from our Distinguished Service to Agriculture recipient, Dennis Hiab.
Hi, I'm Dennis Hiab, recipient of the Distinguished Service Award to Agriculture. When Adam Sharp called me to tell me I had received this award, I was very humbled. To think that my Hamilton County Board of Trustees nominated me and then the state board accepting my nomination for this honor was truly a humbling experience. I would first like to thank my wife, Karen, for putting up with me, for coming in at the last minute, eating supper in 10 to 15 minutes and dodging off to a Farm Bureau meeting. Also, there was times when I would leave for several days, go to Washington, D.C., or to go to the annual Farm Bureau meeting, and I appreciate her putting up with all the inconveniences. Also, I'd like to thank my children, Ed, Doug, and Christy, for putting up with me when I had to miss their school functions, and also to cover for me at family affairs when I could not make it. Also like to thank my brother Mike, who took and kept up the farming operation while I was gone. Back in the 80s when I joined Farm Bureau, I was just a greenhorn like mostly everybody else. I had no agenda, and I showed interest, and when you show interest in county board, the next thing you know, you're president. So being president, I had lots of time riding tractors, and different ideas crossed my mind that I thought would add benefit to Hamilton County. And what made that happen was some of the ODs that I had the privilege to work with. One of the ODs was Paul Hall. Paul Hall gave me the confidence and the go-to attitude to get things done. And for that, I appreciate his working with me. All the ODs that I've worked with have been very helpful in instrumenting my development in Farm Bureau throughout the years. But I also like to honor Judy Roush, who used to work for Farm Bureau, with all the educational programs that we did together. It was a lot of fun, and it stretched my involvement in Farm Bureau in areas where I didn't think I could go. I also like to mention Jack Fisher. He was very approachable, and I enjoyed talking to him, as well as the yeehaw attitude of Paul Lyons. He always made me laugh. But mostly I like to honor and thank all the people in Hamilton County Farm Bureau that I've had the privilege to work with. Terry Diefenbacher, Lou Schindler, Dominic Costanzo, Don Menges, the Hummeldorfs, Dr. Mike Fredericks, and Ann Fredericks, and all the other people that I have had the privilege to work with. It has been an exciting time doing the Farm Bureau functions, and I appreciate all their help in making them successful. Thank you.
Distinguished Service to Agriculture, Ohio Farm Bureau Federation, awarded to Dennis Hiab, December 6, 2018. Congratulations.
Thanks, Dennis. Our second Distinguished Service to Agriculture Award is presented to Charles Lawson. Chuck is a dairy farmer and lifelong resident of Thompson in Geauga County. He has and continues to serve the agricultural community through his involvement in 4-H, local and state government, local and regional agricultural cooperatives, and local, state, and American Farm Bureau. He says, looking back, it is amazing to see how my involvement in other organizations was influenced and benefited from his involvement in the Ohio Farm Bureau, and vice versa. Please direct your attention to the screens as we hear from our Distinguished Service to Agriculture recipient, Chuck Lawson.
I want to really say that I am totally humbled by being able to receive this award. I've been privileged to live the years that I've lived. I was born in 1938, and to date, I think I've experienced probably the best years of America. I was too young to really realize the dynamics of World War II, but since then, I've experienced the mechanization of everything that touches us. The Industrial Revolution and agriculture has been tremendous, and to think that I've even had a chance to have a part of that is overwhelming. I first and foremost want to thank my experience to those that made it possible for my career in 4-H. I spent 10 years in 4-H club work and probably was more influential on my development as a mature individual as anything I'd ever done. Along with that, there was a man who was involved with Ohio Cooperative Extension, John Parker, who was a tremendous help to me and I to him through different chances I had to participate with the advisory councils, not only at the county level, the region level, and then finally the State Extension Advisory Committee. I've already mentioned my wife and family, but again, I want to emphasize them again. None of the things that I accomplished away from the farm would have gotten done if it hadn't had the support of the folks that I left the home to take care of the cows and do my duties while I was doing these. Again, I want to thank everyone involved with Farm Bureau, the tremendous relationships that I've had with so many different of the staff, more important, the members throughout the Ohio Farm Bureau. And again, I'd like to say thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to receive this award.
The plaque reads, Distinguished Service to Agriculture, the Ohio Farm Bureau Federation, awarded to Charles Lawson, December 6th, 2018. Congratulations, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck. It is with a heavy but thankful heart that we present this next award, one that is very deserving. Al DiVincenzo is this year's recipient of the OFBF Agricultural Educator Award. Al was a member of the State Board of Trustees representing members in Cuyahoga, Erie, Huron, and Lorain counties. He served in numerous leadership positions at the county level and also served as an adjunct professor at the Firelands campus of Bowling Green State University. He spent 30 years in public education and was a 45-year 4-H advisor. Al unexpectedly passed away earlier this year and is truly missed. Please direct your attention to the screens as we learn more about the life of our Agricultural Educator Award recipient, Al DiVincenzo.
I'm Beth DiVincenzo, and my family and I are very honored that Ohio Farm Bureau is recognizing Al with the Agricultural Educator Award. At first, I was not sure how I was going to be able to connect Al's life as an educator with the agriculture part of this award. I've always separated Al's role as a teacher, work-study coordinator, special ed supervisor, principal, and college professor with his role in agriculture, our tree farm, 4-H, and Farm Bureau. Then it was pointed out to me how Al's ability to be an educator flowed into his agricultural role. Al was never shy about helping others learn about some aspect of agriculture. He enlightened anyone who would listen to him about growing Christmas trees after he offered them one of his wooden nickels. He created tree scavenger hunts for school groups that came out from Cleveland to see the farm. Al volunteered for over 20 years at the Ohio State Fair in the Ohio Christmas Tree Association display area, talking with the public about Christmas trees and their Operation Evergreen program. He loved his role as a 4-H advisor and enjoyed watching the kids grow and learn through their projects and leadership roles within the club. Al felt strongly about keeping local, state, and U.S. politicians aware of agricultural issues in Northeast Ohio and Lorain County. He enjoyed making connections with the senators and representatives in Columbus and Washington. I stopped being surprised when a state senator or someone from an Ohio U.S. congressional office would call to chat and see what was on Al's mind in terms of agriculture and Farm Bureau. Al was always a strong supporter of educating the general public about agriculture and enjoyed conversations with people at Lorain County Farm Bureau's Breakfast with the Farmer. He would engage people while manning a site at the county's Fall Farm Tour and really enjoyed talking with county officials at the Lorain County Annual Pork Chop Dinner. He also used the opportunity to give a rural agricultural perspective as being a part of groups in connection with Lorain County Community College and Ohio's Natural Resource Assistance Council. Farm Bureau gave Al the avenue where he could teach others about agriculture. It allowed him to show people how important it was for him to be involved in something in which he believed. I know Al had an impact educating many people on different levels, but Farm Bureau really had an impact on him. Thank you for honoring him with this award.
I can look back at those 46 years and see a lot of kids in leadership positions throughout the county and have done and gone on and been quite successful. And you hope you had a little part of that. You hope you made a difference.
Distinguished Service to Agriculture, Ohio Farm Bureau Federation awarded to Alfred DiVincenzo, December 6, 2018.
Our Ezra C. Anstat Heritage Award is presented to Jim Bachman, who retired from Nationwide Board in 2018, having served as a director since 2003. Over those years, he played a prominent role as chair of the Audit Committee and a member of both the Finance, Nominating, and Governance Committees. Prior to that, Jim's business career was in finance and accounting. In addition to his board work at Nationwide, Jim also served on other public company boards of directors, as well as nonprofit organizations that included the Ohio State University Hospital, the Ohio State University Audit Committee of the Board of Trustees, United Way of Central Ohio, the Columbus Chamber of Commerce, the Columbus Museum of Art, and the McCoy Performing Arts Center in New Albany. In this video, you will hear from Jim and his very strong beliefs in our mutual cooperative heritage.
Good afternoon. A very humble thank you to President Burkett and to the trustees for selecting me for the 2018 Ezra Anstad Heritage Award. As a few of you know, my background is finance versus farming, and it was 15 years ago that I was asked to join the nationwide board. I soon found out that the nationwide values and culture were much aligned with those of Ernst & Young, where I had my previous business career. I also soon found out that the nationwide culture and values originated with and are carried forward by former OFBF leaders who are now or have been directors of Nationwide. I've had the privilege of serving with 14 in all, just terrific leaders. So my main message is that Nationwide, and personally me, continue to thank you for our North Star, our heritage, and our mutuality. On the Nationwide website is the Statement of Heritage for all of you, which highlights, firstly, that Nationwide is a mutual company that embraces the cooperative spirit of founder and OFB Executive Director Murray Lincoln. And Nationwide's founding values, hard work, cooperative spirit, integrity, commitment to excellence, and caring about people and community is what defines Nationwide's heritage and culture. I know that this is all very familiar to you, and all organizations would be better if these were also their core values. Like you and these former OFBF leaders, you have and continue to set the tone of what to believe in, of doing what's right, both in the long-term interest of Nationwide and OFBF, as well as in your own businesses. Whether it is Nationwide or the Farm Bureau, each generation of leaders will have their trials and challenges. The values embedded in heritage and mutuality will get us through. I very much respect and applaud your continuous leadership development through 4-H, through the Farm Bureau county and state offices, and through your own communities. It will carry on your legacy to the next generations. So I'll leave you with this, that for each of us, it is never too early, too late, or too often to make a difference. Thank you.
The plaque reads, Ezra C. Anstad Heritage Award, Ohio Farm Bureau Federation, awarded to James Bachman, December 6th, 2018. Congratulations, Jim.
Well, this has been a tremendous start to the afternoon, as well as very inspiring. As we prepare to dismiss, if you haven't had a chance to walk through our history display, please do so. There are some very interesting pieces that I am sure you will enjoy seeing. We would also like to have your participation in our history display by sharing your Farm Bureau story. Simply write out your story on the index cards that are provided near the exhibit. Plus, there is an additional display where you can give us your wish for Farm Bureau for the next 100 years. The Ohio Farm Bureau store will also be open for 1/2 hour after the conclusion of the luncheon. At this time, we are getting ready to conduct our business policy sessions in the Union Station ballrooms, and everyone is welcome to listen in. We will begin our business policy session in 15 minutes. If you are a delegate, please make your way to the Union Station ballrooms at this time as we start the official business of the day. Thank you for joining us for your centennial celebration luncheon. I look forward to seeing you shortly.